We are going to look at the classification of vertebrates. So far we have looked at the general principle, the system of classification of living things into plants and animals. Then we come to animal, we have the vertebrates and invertebrates. We have looked at some areas, the questions based on invertebrates. Now we are going to look at vertebrates. Vertebrates are animals with backbones or vertebral column. They are grouped into 5 classes based on their peculiar features. And these classes are class Pisces, which is where the fishes belong to. Among the fishes we have the Teleosts, where bony fish are, and Elasmobranch, where we have the cartilaginous fish. These are aquatic organisms. Then class Amphibian, well, example were frog and toad. This group of organisms that spend their earlier life in water and adult life on land. Of course, when they want to reproduce, they go back to the water. Then we have the class Reptilia. This is the first group of vertebrates that completely come back, inhabit the land, colonize the land. The example here we have lizard, we have tortoise, we have crocodile and snakes and so on. They belong to this group. Their life is spent on land. And that is why they have dry scales to be able to cope. Then we have the class Aves, which are birds. These are the only group of mammals that have feathers and well adapted to aerian life, that is Arborean life. Then we have the last class here, the Mammalia. The Mammalia we are much more on land. Man is an example. There's few ones that are in the air. We have example as bats. There are some in the water. Whale is an example. So this is general breakdown of vertebrates, which I'm sure will go through their characteristics of each of these classes and how they cope with their different environments. With that, we'll be able to answer some questions based on classification of vertebrates. Let's look at some examples. Example 1. Agnatha is best accommodated in the phylum A. Invertebrata, B. Chordata, C. Amphibian, D. Teleost. To answer this question, you have to know what this organism is. Agnatha is a jawless fish, which is not normally accommodated under the class fishes. So it comes into recognition under the phylum Chordata. Therefore, we know that being a jawless fish is not an amphibian, doesn't belong to where frog and toad belong. It's not a bony fish, and it's not an invertebrate, it's a vertebrate. Therefore, the answer to question 1 is option B, Chordata. Example 2. Teleosts are a group of A. Cartilaginous fish, B. Bony fishes, C. Jawless fishes, D. Young amphibians. From the explanation of question 1, we now know that the teleosts are bony fishes. Even our introduction also pointed that one out. So the answer is direct in this question. Option B, answer question 2, bony fishes. Example 3. The common feature found in fish, reptile, birds, and mammal is A. Cold-bloodedness, B. Having 4-chambered heart, C. Giving birth to offspring by viviparous method, and D. Having epidermal growth for skin coverage. We are looking for a common feature for fish, reptile, birds, and mammal. Option A, cold-bloodedness. Birds and mammals are not cold-blooded animals. So it doesn't answer the question. Having four-chambered heart is only birds and mammals that have four-chambered heart in this group. Having given birth to offspring by viviparous method, that is giving birth to young ones alive, and that is the characteristics of only mammals. So we are left with option D, having epidermal growths for skin coverage. What are these epidermal growths? We're talking about, for fish we have scale, for reptile we have scales, for birds we have feathers, for mammals we have hairs. So the answer to question 3 is having epidermal growth for skin coverage, option D. Example 4. A bony fish differs from a cartilaginous fish in that bony fish A lives in water, B has gills, C has streamlined body, D has opercula. We are looking for one of these features that makes a bony fish to be different from cartilaginous fish. Both of them, bony fish and cartilaginous fishes, they live in water. Both of them have gills, and of course their body are streamlined to reduce friction when swimming in the water. And so the only thing a bony fish, a cartilaginous fish is not having is opercula. Instead, they have what we call gill slits. So answer to question 4 is option D, having opercula by bony fish. Example 5. Which of these groups of organisms is regarded as most recent in evolution? A. Fish, B. Rat, C. Agama lizard, D. Pigeon. This question tends to find out from students if they know the trend of evolution and even the classification. Classification begins with the simplest organism down to most complex organism. So, looking at this option, fish is less complex than any of the ones on the board, because fish is still living in water. Other trees are on land. Even this one has invaded the air, the pigeon. B is a rat, which belongs to the class of vertebrates called mammals. Then C, a gamma lizard, is a reptile. A reptile, from reptile, the birds evolved. Now, looking at the options, option B has more complex body, more advanced than any other one. It's the only group that does not lay egg again. So answer to question 5 is option B, the rat.